Good day. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 2021 Vice-Chancellor's Teaching and Learning Research and Community Engagement ceremony. We're having this ceremony virtual because of the circumstances under which we find ourselves. 2020 was not an easy year, but colleagues managed to excel in all our three core functions. If you look at our research output, our community engagement results, as well as our teaching and learning enterprise outcomes, you will realize that as a university, we didn't throw in a towel. We did all what we could do, and we embraced the new normal. Much as we had problems with the start of the new normal, the University of Limpopo still succeeded in achieving this. Thanks to all colleagues who decided to put shoulder behind the wheel and make sure that we reach our goals. Today, as we speak, we are rewarding those colleagues who went a step further. We are identifying them. We are celebrating with them in that, as I say, they went a step further and excelled. We will be rewarding colleagues who made an impact in the area of teaching. They came out as best teachers. We will be rewarding colleagues who did their best in research. Here we are, 2021. The University of Limpopo had a record-breaking number of PhD graduates. Not just PhD, but in all other areas as well. I think we excel. Here we are. A number of our researchers got national rating. We concluded one of our main research projects, the FLIR Collaboration Research Project. Come 2022, the university again will be hosting the Sanot Conference. This is no mean achievement. And again, let me welcome you to this function, and let me encourage and tell colleagues not to stop here, but to go further and reach for greater heights. Ladies and gentlemen, let me declare our 2021 Vice-Chancellor's Excellence Award officially opened, and enjoy the moment. Thank you.
The Council members of the University of Limpopo, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mohalong, the DVC Teaching and Learning, Professor Madashe, the DVC Research, Innovation and Partnership, Professor Jay Singh, the University Registrar, Professor K. Masha, Executive Faculty Deans at the University of Limpopo, Directors and School Directors, University of Limpopo staff and students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen who are following the proceedings, good morning. I feel privileged to present to you the 2021 Vice-Chancellor's Excellence Award winners from the Teaching and Learning section. Each year we look forward to this celebration to honor heroes in the aspects of teaching and learning at the University of Limpopo. The 2021 Teaching and Learning is predominantly characterized by remote, multimodal approaches that are at times require more preparation time. In spite of all that, the applicants demonstrated compassion and resilience in putting together their portfolios. Applicants demonstrated critical reflection on their practice that included reflection on context in this new normal, reflection on students in this new normal, reflection on knowledge in this normal, and reflection on knowledge in this new normal. Ladies and gentlemen, these awards are based on scholarship of teaching and learning excellence. The award has two categories, namely the established teacher category, and these are individuals who have 10 or more years of teaching experience in higher education. Then the second one is the upcoming teacher category, and these are lecturers who have less than 10 years teaching experience in higher education. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start by presenting the upcoming teacher category.
Best upcoming teacher in the school, from the School of Education, Dr. Mapake Masha. She's a senior lecturer in agricultural education. Dr. Masha's teaching philosophy is based on the social constructivist observation, which is that learning is most effective when students partake in the primary construction of knowledge. She joined UL in the School of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences in 2015 and then transferred to the School of Education a year later. Her student-centered pedagogical teaching approaches include whole class discussions, small group discussions, teaching stations, slow scholarship, and a world cafe. This was influenced by her belief that when students are at the center, they can unleash their full potential. Dr. Masha assigns students activities in her class, and this allows them to prepare for the next class. In some class activities, student teachers are allowed to mark or grade each other's tasks. In this instance, every student is expected to explain why they allocated the marks they did. This, according to Dr. Masha, is a practice that not only improves student learning, but also familiarizes students with the course's intended learning outcomes. Dr. Masha says she exudes fulfillment from student teachers who make a difference in the schools where they work. She's confident that her student-centered approaches in class have allowed her to form solid relationships with her students. And this is evident from the feedback she receives from students who reflect on how her teaching philosophy has influenced their professional practice, with some students having achieved a 100% pass rate during observation from the schools they conduct their practical teaching. Best upcoming teacher in the school, from the School of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, Grace Manielo. She's a lecturer in animal production, and her teaching career at the University of Limpopo began in 2017. She teaches BSc Agriculture and Animal Production to undergraduate students from the first to the fourth level. Her pedagogical approach is based on the theory of social constructivism. She considers learning to be a collaborative process between a student and a teacher, rather than a one-man show. She believes that learning should provide students with the space and an opportunity to demonstrate their abilities. Manielo encouraged students to actively participate in lessons and to openly share their views on the subject matter at hand in order to accomplish this approach. Her teaching philosophy is that students learn best when they are actively involved and have a sense of belonging. She believes that knowledge emerges from a result of social interaction and language use, and that is thus a shared experience rather than an individual element. Student-centered learning, in her opinion, is the best teaching approach because it allows students to learn effectively from a variety of social processes and interactions. Therefore, Manyolo says the most rewarding aspect of her job is seeing her students succeed in life and being able to use the skills she teaches to create opportunities for others. Best overall upcoming teacher in the university from the School of Economics and Management, Mmapale Kgatliso Maoto. She's a lecturer in business management, entrepreneurship, supply chain management, and electronic commerce. Her teaching interest began in 2014 when she was appointed as a part-time junior lecturer in the Department of Business Management. She was promoted to full-time lecturer in 2015 and started teaching the following modules: Introduction to Business Management at first level, Entrepreneurship at second level, Supply Chain Management and Electronic Commerce, both at third level. Maoto has also been given the opportunity to put her teaching skills to use at honors level, where she's facilitating the module called Strategic Project Management. She has 7 years of teaching experience and has adopted humanism, transformative learning, and constructivism as pedagogical approaches that primarily underpin her current teaching practices. Her teaching philosophy is based on the idea that students learn optimally when they are actively and emotionally involved in their learning. She claims that her emphasis has always been on active learning or student-centered learning, which entails creating a conducive learning environment that is to stimulate and advance student thinking through self-discovery and peer interaction. This is rather than simply feeding them with knowledge. She keeps her students engaged in their learning by incorporating extracurricular activities into her lessons. This includes events like Business Day, Student Entrepreneurship Week, and Teaching Entrepreneurship. According to her, the events expose students to various entrepreneurship platforms and prepare them for the demands of the business world and entrepreneurship.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to the established teacher category.
Best established teacher in the school from the School of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, Dr. Mapatla Signolo. Dr. Signolo is a senior lecturer in agricultural economics. She employs a variety of pedagogical approaches when conducting teaching and learning. Cognitivism theory may predominate slightly more for undergraduate second and third level students than for fourth, honors, and master's level students who are more pragmatic. As a result, approaches like constructivism and reflective learning are better suited for these advanced levels. Her pedagogical practices embrace connecting and learning together, both individually and in groups, while talking, laughing, listening, and observing to maximize learning. These approaches, she says, are coupled with a strong belief in providing opportunities for her students to look forward to the learning experience, stimulating them to reflect and construct their learning. This also provides students the necessary structure, guidance, and support, while also encouraging them to take the lead in their learning. Dr. Signolo recognizes the uniqueness of each student and strives for her students to develop problem-solving and critical thinking skills throughout her teaching. This is to give them the freedom to express themselves, accept themselves for who they are, and accept the differences of others. Dr. Signolo also employs mixed group methods in class to stimulate plenary discussions. In some cases, the students facilitate the lessons. She is adamant that this method's success is dependent on the experiences, reflection, conceptualization, and experimentation. Best overall established teacher in the university from the School of Mathematical and Computational Sciences, Professor Daniel Maposa. He's an associate professor of statistics. Professor Maposa believes that each student must construct the meaning of knowledge based on their learning experiences. He accomplishes this by ensuring that the learning material, learning outcomes, and assessment tasks are all constructively aligned. He designs learning materials that help students to relate to real-life situations. His philosophy of teaching is based on the social constructivism theory. Prof. Maposa uses this to create module outlines and study guides that encourage students to think critically by asking probing questions during the development of a concept. This, according to him, keeps students actively engaged in the construction of knowledge and assists them in owning their learning. He carefully selects examples that elicit higher order thinking and helps students in grasping mathematical statistics concepts when developing learning material.
Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Mogolong, members of Council, Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Teaching and Learning, Professor Mondachi, Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Partnerships, Professor Singh, Executive Deans, Directors of Schools, Heads of Departments, academics, support staff and students. Thank you for joining us on this special occasion. I am Alida van Dijk, and it's my privilege to, as Director of the Rural Development and Innovation Hub, extend a special welcome to the applicants for the Vice-Chancellor's Awards for Excellence in Community Engagement. The Vice-Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Community Engagement recognizes and rewards community engagement projects or activities that are consistent with the vision, mission, and values of the University of Limpopo. The University and the Rural Development and Innovation Hub strive to develop community engagement as a scholarship. We are fortunate to work in an environment where university management supports and resource processes to further the mission and goals of an engaged university. Community engagement as scholarship implies a mutual beneficial relationship between the university and its broader community. The notion community engaged scholarships integrate the academic core activities of student teaching and learning, research, and community engagement. In evaluating projects, we look for the best practices that demonstrate the integration of community engagement, articulation of core academic processes, and managing its quality with the aim of ultimately establishing an engaged university. The COVID-19 pandemic and critics of current university practices call for a renewed emphasis on the quality of the student experience, a broader definition of scholarship-based teaching, research, and service, as well as the implementation of true university community-based partnerships based on reciprocity and mutual benefit. The trend in higher education is thus towards greater civic responsiveness, but so too the need to dovetail the multiple voices echoed from academic objectives with those of societal needs. In doing this, we should ask ourselves, how can we use research as a tool and vehicle for engaging with communities in more respectful and inclusive ways? Also, how should we conduct ethical research and refrain from using communities as mere data collection sites? How can they become co-producers of knowledge? How can we infuse community engagement with the curriculum? How do we need to reshape and restructure existing and new modules to become more engaged? Then also very important, how can we use our students to help build relationships and build bridges with community members, capacitate our projects, and creatively use innovative learning that will enable them to become our ears on the ground. The projects of our applicants provided answers to some of these questions. What I've learned is that champions in community engagement are usually people who are willing to do more than just the academic task. They are willing to walk the extra mile, think and work beyond the boundaries of the university, and they are willing to make their nails dirty. Winners are not people who never fail. They are people who've made many mistakes, but who never quit in spite of. Today, we salute the champions of community engagement at our university. Thank you for your dedication and your hard work. I congratulate you, and I want to conclude with a quote by Steve Jobs, who said, "If you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you." Thank you.
Best Female Community Engagement Scholar in the University. From the School of Social Sciences, Itumeleng Chidi Khanaga. Itumeleng Chidi is involved in community engagement programs centered on women empowerment, youth empowerment, community development, social entrepreneurship, public speaking, and community media. As a sociology lecturer, in June 2021, she launched the Itumeleng M Foundation Mentorship Program to empower youth to be the best versions of themselves. She has also organized a number of community engagement programs. This includes the annual Women in Business and Leadership Seminar, which has been running for 5 years, as well as the annual Couples Retreat, which has been running for 3 years and promotes healthy relationships. Chidi Khanaga is the current chairperson of the University of Limpopo Women's Academic Solidarity Association, ULWASA, from 2019 to 2021, and she previously served as chair in 2013. She also serves on the UL Employment Equity Forum, the Faculty of Humanities Multimodal Teaching and Learning Committee, and she's a school academic development practitioner, what is known as Kindi, at the Center of Academic Excellence. And she's also a student development officer at the UL Residence and Administration. She previously received the Most Resourceful Staff Member Award in the Faculty of Humanities in 2012 and in 2013, as well as the 2017 Best Overall Teacher at UL during the Vice-Chancellor's Excellence Awards, and in 2021 she was named as one of the Sunday World Unsung Heroes, where she received awards in the category of academics. Best Established Community Engagement Scholar in the University. From the School of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, Professor Joseph Asiwe. Professor Asiwe conducts agricultural crop pest management research, plant breeding, host plant resistance, and pest management. He has a proven track record in research and development, project management, and varietal development. He has co-authored and authored 2 books and 1 book chapter, as well as 20 articles published in DHET accredited and non-accredited peer review journals. In addition, he has presented at over 60 national and international conferences. Professor Asiwe has 4 articles that have already been accepted for publication in the DHET accredited peer review journal in 2020 and 2021. Over 200 scholars in his field of study have cited his work. Professor Asiwe has successfully executed copy varietal trials at Kookster, Venderstorp, Daun, Valhart, and Potchefstroom for his community outreach activities. He has also organized a number of farmers' days at Bethlehem, Belabela, Gatava, and Daun to showcase his research findings in varietal development, copy utilization, agro-processing, and community engagements, and he has trained many farmers and agricultural extensionists on copy production practices. He has also exhibited copy varieties at NAMPO 2009 and served as a consultant to IAEA on reviewing the funded project at Zimbabwe and Namibia. He is currently a member of the African Union's Working Group on Seed Production and Biotechnology. Prof. Asiwe's community activities in profiling and promoting the University of Limpopo have submitted 6 novel copy varieties for IP rights registration at the Department of Agricultural and Forestry. He has also submitted to Genetic Resources in Pretoria and has registered 2 varieties for commercialization. The activities have also resulted in the publication of 3 peer-reviewed articles, 2 books, and 7 conference presentations at the 12th Southern African Plant Breeders Association Symposium, an international conference that is reputable. His community activities have made significant contributions to advancing community engagement as one of the institution's core functions, both internally and externally.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saluting the Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the University, Professor Mokgalong. Acknowledgements to the presence of our Chairperson of Council, and greetings to all academic leadership, as well as my fellow members of the university management, staff and students, and more specifically, all the nominees for today's August event. Despite the negative experiences associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, the university continues to thrive in research. This year has been the most productive year when it comes to research outputs since 2009. Publications in international high-impact platforms continue to increase. So is the productivity of other forms of output, such as books and book chapters. This is also coupled with the rise in grants received by a wide range of projects across all faculties. The number of female researchers has tremendously improved. This can be partly attributed to the support that the management of the university offers to this designated group. But more specifically, we need to acknowledge the efforts and hard work that colleagues have put into their work in research. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the faculty executive deans at all times and for their provision of a conducive environment through which researchers can flourish. I take time to congratulate all the recipients of the awards in the various categories of the VC Excellence Awards. To those who entered the competition but could not make it this time, ningapheli amandla. Ladies and gentlemen, today I will announce 4 categories. The first category is the best researcher in the school level, first and second positions. The first position receives 10,000 rands, whilst the second position will receive 8,000 rands.
Best researcher in the school, from the School of Social Sciences, Professor Khothatso Shai. He is head of Department of Cultural and Political Studies. Professor Shai has been elected as the president of the South African Association of Political Science, which is SAPS, and his appointment, he said, was an affirmation of the strategic role of young political scientists and previously marginalized universities in the discipline. He also sees it as an implicit support for Afrocentric and protest scholarship. Professor Shai has been a member of SAPS since August 2013, and he was co-opted into the SAPS National Council in September 2017 and re-elected in October 2018, where he served until his recent election as president. He sees his appointment as a call to action in South Africa to do more to foster the next generation of African-centered political scientists. His political interests have resulted in the publication of over 60 accredited journal articles in African politics and international relations. His efforts have also enabled him to direct an international collaboration on postgraduate supervision with the Western Kentucky University. He was recently a visiting scholar at the University of the Gambia, where he co-authored research papers with fellow university students. He has several DHET-recognized international journals which are currently publishing such papers. Best researcher in the school. From the School of Molecular and Life Sciences, Professor Kotsedi Daniel Munyeki. He is a professor of physiology and environmental health. Professor Munyeki is a member of the non-governmental organization called Childhood Hypertension Consortium of South Africa, and is also a member of the European Commission-funded SPICES team. His research interests include epidemiology and cardiovascular disease, public health, physical activity, human growth, sport science, physical education, and longitudinal studies. Professor Munyeki is the principal investigator of the Ellis-Ras Longitudinal Study, which is an initiative of national and international collaboration that is benefiting the University of Limpopo students and research, among other things. Externally, Prof. Munyeki marks PhD and master's dissertations and peer reviews articles from various national and international high-impact factor journals. He also assists in the application for funding from the National Research Foundation as well as the Medical Research Council, among other related bodies and institutions. Professor Munyeki has collaborated with national and international researchers such as Dr. Geoffrey Musunguzi of the Department of Primary and Interdisciplinary Care at the University of Antwerp in Belgium, and he also collaborates in the Department of Disease Control and Environmental Health at the Makerere University in Uganda's School of Public Health. Best researcher in the school. From the School of Economics and Management, Professor Itumeleng Mongale. He is acting head of Department of Economics and Microeconomics, Monetary Policy, and Applied Econometrics, particularly time series modeling and forecasting, are among Professor Mongale's research interests. He has graduated 17 master's and 3 doctoral students, and is currently supervising 6 master's and 4 doctoral students. He has presented 16 papers at national and international conferences, co-authored 4 book chapters, and published 22 research articles in the fields of economics and applied econometrics. Professor Mongale is currently a manuscript reviewer for 8 internationally renowned journals. This includes journals such as Acta Commerci, Africa, Journal of Politics, Economics and Society, African Journal of Economic and Management Studies, Journal of Global Business and Technology, Journal of Public Administration and Development Alternatives, among others. Best researcher in the School of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, Dr. Ibrahim Shokohi. He's a postdoctoral research fellow in plant protection, soil science, and agricultural engineering. He specializes in biodiversity, ecology, and using molecular and conventional methods to identify plant parasitic and free-living nematodes. He's an academic staff member at the University of Limpopo's Green Biotechnologies Research Center of Excellence, focusing in research in molecular and conventional nematode identification at the Plant Protection, Soil Science and Agricultural Engineering Department. Dr. Shokohi is also involved in nematology education, training, and research. He has established national and international collaborations since his involvement with UL at the Excellence Center. This includes the Agricultural Research Council's PPRI Institute in Pretoria, as well as a large number of international collaborations in Switzerland, India, Spain, Italy, the US, Pakistan, and Iran. Dr. Shokohi has presented 73 conference papers, over 15 with UL affiliation, at national and international conferences, and has published 72 peer-reviewed articles, of which over 30 are with UL affiliation. These were published in high accredited journals in the fields of nematology, molecular taxonomy, phylogeny, and nematode microbiome. Under the auspices of UL, he published 2 books. He has also published 3 book chapters, 2 of which are affiliated with UL, and 3 more book chapters in the works. Best researcher in the school, from the School of Healthcare Sciences, Professor Linda Skull. She's a professor in the Department of Public Health. Professor Linda Skull's role in the School of Healthcare Sciences is to teach postgraduate students as well as supervise postgraduate research for masters and PhDs. She has extensive experience in both teaching and research, as well as community engagement. Moreover, she has been active in mentoring staff in research supervision, postgraduate training, and postgraduate student support. Professor Skull is also involved in the development of young, aspiring researchers at the university. Her research focuses on women's health, specifically maternal health, reproductive health, and obesity prevention studies. She has published and presented several papers on addictive behaviors such as alcoholism, gambling addiction, and risky sexual behavior. She has also published 39 articles on a variety of topics, including addictive behaviors, maternal and reproductive health, and obesity studies. As a co-author, she has contributed to 4 book chapters. She has presented 18 papers at national and international conferences. Professor Skull is the South African Medical and Research Council Swedish Forte's local principal investigator and a grant holder. She has successfully supervised and graduated 61 masters and currently supervises 6 PhD students as well as 4 master's students. Best researcher in the school, from the School of Languages and Communication Studies, Professor Mputu Mogobola. He's an associate professor and head of Department of Languages. Professor Mogoboya's research interests include African literature and its diasporic component, as well as post-colonial theory. He has published 33 DHET accredited journals and 5 non-accredited articles in African literature and post-colonial theory to date. His passion for languages has led to collaborations between the University of Limpopo's Department of Languages and the U.S. Embassy in South Africa on the English Teaching Assistance Program, which places Fulbrighters in classrooms throughout the world, including in South Africa. The English Teaching Assistance Program assists English teachers and lecturers in teaching English while also serving as cultural ambassadors for their country. Prof. Mogoboya has also reviewed conference papers and scholarly journals, including the Journal of Gender Information and Development in Africa, the Africa Renaissance Journal, Ubuntu, Journal of Conflict and Social Transformation, and Africa. In addition, he serves as an external examiner and moderator for undergraduate and postgraduate students at Northwest University, the University of Venda, and the University of South Africa. Amongst others, Prof. Mogoboya also belongs to various professional bodies such as the English Academy of Southern Africa and the South African Council of Educators.
The second category is the best overall female researcher in the university. This award comes with a prize of 10,000 rands.
Best overall female researcher in the university from the School of Molecular and Life Sciences in the Department of Biodiversity, Professor Velman Louise Powell. She is a chairholder of DSI NRF Sachi Chair in Ecosystems Health. Professor Louise Powell is a Department of Biodiversity researcher who holds the DSI NRF Sachi Chair in Ecosystem Health, and her multidisciplinary study is mainly concerned with the natural environment, with a particular emphasis on aquatic ecosystems and ecosystem services. Her research on the impact of pollution levels on the diversity of fish parasites and the health of aquatic organisms has been cited in over 150 articles globally. Professor Louise Powell and colleagues have discovered 2 new parasite genera from a moy-myret fish, a new monogenian and a new cestode, and 14 new parasite species, in addition to reporting on novel hosts of geographical records of fish parasites. The chair's research is extremely relevant for Southern Africa because it focuses on monitoring pollution levels in aquatic ecosystems, and it emphasizes the relevance of ecosystem services as well as the risk to human health when fish from a contaminated system is consumed on a regular basis.
The third category is the best overall upcoming researcher in the university. The prize money in this category is 45,000 rands.
Best overall upcoming researcher in the university. From the School of Social Sciences, Dr. Witness Maluleke. He is a senior lecturer in the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice. Dr. Maluleke is a National Research Foundation rated researcher in Y2 category, and he is a member of the NRF rated 2021 Durban University of Technology Institutional Review Committee. Dr. Maluleke's research focus is in rural criminologist and stock theft. He is also a member of the Specialist Committee for the 2021 rating period, which is made up of academics from South African higher education research institutions. In addition, he is the Vice President of the Criminological Society of Africa, CRIMSA, for the period 2021 to 2023. He is an editorial board member of the African Journal of Sociological and Psychological Studies, a member of the Golden Key International Honor Society, and a member of the International Society for the Study of Rural Crime, Inc., which is based in Victoria, Australia. He also serves as a reviewer for approximately 25 local and international accredited and reputable journals.
The fourth and last category in the Research Excellence Awards is the Best Overall Researcher in the University. This is an award that comes with a prize of 50,000 rands.
Best Overall Researcher in the University. From the School of Social Sciences, Professor Jabulani Makudele. He is professor in the Department of Social Work, where he serves as a lecturer and researcher. Professor Makubele specializes in public health social work issues, substance abuse, migration, and climate change. He has presented at over 30 conferences, both domestic and international, co-edited a book, and co-authored 5 chapters in 2 books. Professor Makubele has also contributed more than 65 articles on topics such as substance abuse, non-communicable diseases, migration, and climate change. He has established national and international collaborations. This includes working as a project leader on a study with 2 sister universities, that is, Northwest University and the University of Venda. Militating and mitigating factors for social justice, sustainable development, and quality of life of migrant population in selected provinces of South Africa. Implications for policy and practice considerations in his research project was funded by the National Institute for Human and Social Sciences from 2020 to 2023. Prof. Makubele is also a Global South project leader, working with collaborators from the University of Eastern Finland and Sweden's Lund University in the Social Work Department. The project is titled People on the Move, Migration, Mobilities, and Social Work. It was funded by SANOT from 2019 to 2021. He completed a study commissioned by the National Department of Justice and Correctional Services, in which he and his team have developed the Sexual Offender Treatment Program, which is now being implemented in South African correctional facilities. Between 2016 and 2019, Professor Makubele led a team on an NRF and NCRST funded joint study between UL and the University of Namibia. This collaboration resulted in the publication of 8 articles in accredited and journals. Prof. Makubele was also a member of the Resilience Africa Network on a study on HIV vulnerability and resilience strategies in the context of HIV in Radikale within the Mankweng area. The study was led by Professor Ngambi. He completed a study commissioned by Blue Cross Norway and Blue Cross South Africa Evolution. The study was around Limpopo province in Guyane, Retlaville, and Hauka high schools.
Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, let me announce a researcher who neither applies nor is nominated for this category. However, in the research office, we evaluate and check all the researchers who have brought funds for research in the years under review. And in this case, the researcher receives a prize award of 10,000 rands.
Researcher with the largest external research funding from the Risk and Vulnerability Science Center at the university, Professor Gwabena Ayisi. Professor Ayisi is the coordinator of FLIR Inter-University. His career objectives have always revolved around contributing to the development programs through research, training, and community outreach. He makes sure that these are affordable, efficient, less detrimental to the ever-degrading ecosystems. He's also engaged in research that is sustainable in all respects and capable of making positive changes in the livelihoods of participating members and communities at large. Professor Ayisi has participated in over 19 community outreach projects and several partnership projects to achieve some of these goals. He has served as the FLIRI project's local coordinator since 2012. In this capacity, he coordinates 6 independent projects. They include statistics, data analysis, geographic information systems and graphic change, prevention, control, and integrated management of chronic diseases, among others. He has supervised 4 PhD students from South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Cameroon in climate change and food security research. Professor Ayisi has contributed to the development of curriculum in a number of institutions. He was a lead member of a team commissioned to revise the crop science curriculum for both undergraduate and postgraduate courses at the University of Limpopo in 2001. This was in his capacity as acting head of the Department of Plant Production and Soil Science. This was done in order to comply with the new national curriculum requirements. And in 2008, he was tasked with developing curricula for 3 disciplines, namely agriculture, environmental sciences, and forestry at the University College of Agricultural and Environmental Studies in Bunso Eastern Region, which is a new tertiary institution in Ghana.
The Vice-Chancellor and Principal, Professor Mokholong, DVC for Teaching and Learning, Professor Madaji, members of the University of Limpopo Council, the senior management team at the University of Limpopo, and all our academic staff and support staff, together with our beautiful students, and very importantly, our nominees and winners of this year's Vice-Chancellor's Excellence Awards in Teaching and Learning, Research, and Community Engagement. I greet you all. It is that time of the year. It is the premier event on our calendar at the university. It is the Vice-Chancellor's Excellence Award ceremony. And it is such a pleasure to greet you all and also offer a word of congratulations to all our nominees as well as our winners. We are so excited to share this event with you as a university, and more importantly, to share this event with our nominees and winners of this year's award ceremony. So Engaged Scholarship is on the way, and I would love to congratulate all our winners today. You have done the university proud. You have done yourselves proud. You have achieved, and today we celebrate your success. It has not come without a price. You have worked hard, you have worked long hours, you have sacrificed your family time, and above all, you have excelled as an academic. And therefore, I want to say congratulations, well done. We are so proud of you as a university.
It is a great honor to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks at this auspicious function. Many thanks are also due to the Vice-Chancellor for his visionary and sterling leadership. His capacity for hard work and excellence, expressed through his wisdom, determination, pertinacity, as well as his sagacity, enabled us to achieve the success we have enjoyed throughout many years. The awards we had today are his brainchild. He said, COVID-19 or no COVID-19, the work of the university should continue. Our deep sense of appreciation is also directed to all council members under the leadership of Mr. Pandelani Neforobodwe. We thank all council members for their unwavering support, which is like a rock on which this university is built. We'd also like to express our gratitude to Professor Singh, the DVC for Research, Innovation and Partnerships, for being part of the organizing team. Her advice and words of encouragement propelled the organizing team to greater heights. We'd also like to thank the executive management in the form of executive deans, dean of students, directors of schools, centers, and other divisions, not forgetting heads of department. They all deserve a pat on the shoulder for supporting and encouraging their awardees to participate in these awards. Special thanks to all the awardees for their hard work and excellence reflected in their respective submissions. They have indeed proven that nothing beats hard work and commitment to achieve success in life. Unquestionably, they've shown that University of Limpopo has first-rate quality staff who can compete anywhere in the world. We wish them all the best in their academic journey. Our heartfelt thanks also go to all our external guests for their attendance. They belong to a variety of sectors such as business, municipalities, provincial and national government, publishers, auditors, bankers, law firms. The list is endless. Their presence supports the saying that mutu ki mutu ka batho. And additionally, to quote Satoru, individually we are one drop, and together we are an ocean. A successful function like this one cannot happen overnight and on its own. It requires serious hard work and planning. This is why we are very grateful for the good work of the organizing team, consisting of colleagues from the Center for Academic Excellence, Research Administration and Development, Rural and Innovation Hub, as well as our marketing and communication colleagues. Without an audience, there will be no function, as we cannot speak to empty walls. Therefore, our thanks go to all academics, all support staff, families of our awardees, students, the alumni, the media, and everyone for gracing this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful day. In Sepedi, we would say, Pala Chamuna Marula Diatuha. I thank you.